Day number 12 here, the moments that define WrestleMania here on YouTube. Skiermonster here with you as we're going down the list of great moments from each WrestleMania. We move on to WrestleMania 12, March 31st, 1996, from Anaheim, California's Arrowhead Pond. 18,000 fans storming into the pond to witness the continuation of WWE's upheaval from the steroid scandals of the past few years and the downtrodden WrestleManias of the past. The new generation was really booming around this time, and this I think would be the start of their build up from the new generation towards the Attitude Era. The Monday Night Wars taking a hold. WWE, WCW rating victories on Monday night. WWE would lose for 84 straight weeks. It would be not long after this that the WWE would fall behind for almost 2 years in the ratings to WCW and Eric Bischoff. But nonetheless, this was a better WrestleMania than recent installments. The show centered around one huge match, even though there were several matches that were low-key, but they had some build to it. In the free-for-all, the disdain for WWE against WCW was very evident in the match between the Huckster and the Nacho Man. The match that they had been plugging in vignettes for a while. And also in the free-for-all, their most the most high-profile match, the Body Donnas versus the Godwins for the tag team titles, the vacant tag team titles that were contested in a tournament for the last month. And the Body Donnas end up winning the tag team championships. And the tag titles would have a flip-flop all year round. Top 3 moments of this event. Number 3, it wouldn't pay off dividends later, but the return after 3.5 years in the WWE, out of the WWE, and back to WrestleMania, the Ultimate Warrior returning to squash in the squash of the night against Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H, who is accompanied to ringside by Sable, who made her debut as one of Triple H's escorts. Mark Miro also made his debut, and him and Sable would eventually hit it off. Mark Miro and Triple H getting in a fight as Mark Miro was getting interviewed. But the Ultimate Warrior story, his return, short-lived. He would be released, breach of contract by Vince McMahon in July of '96. Warrior claiming that he took time off, he missed bookings and shows to grieve over his father. But Vince McMahon had the final say, and he released Warrior. Number 2 moment of this WrestleMania was a very entertaining, hard-hitting battle. It was a brawl. It was a Hollywood backlot brawl. Although, if you ask me, it turned into a Hollywood backlot freeway and boulevard brawl between Roddy Piper and Goldust. Piper seeing his first in-ring action in a while, taking on the Mystery Man Goldust in a Hollywood backlot. It wasn't extremely hardcore, but kudos to WWE for, I guess, doing the smart thing. Roddy Piper trying to chase Goldust in his gold Cadillac, and Roddy in his white blazer. And by white blazer, obviously, WWE using the footage of O.J. Simpson's Hollywood freeway chase for cops. In between matches, they would end up back in the pond to finish off the night. Roddy Piper, obviously, match a no contest, but Roddy Piper, obviously, the victor in all our hearts. The Hot Scott, that would be his last appearance in WWE in a while. I think in about 8 or 9 years. 6 or 7, actually. Came back in 2003 to WWE. But the number 1 moment of this WrestleMania, and a defining moment a boyhood dream, call it what you will. In some wars, they call it the hour. One of the most important matches in WrestleMania has to be one of the most talked about. Probably everyone's favorite match. It just ranks really high. And for those of you, I mentioned in my review of WrestleMania 3 that Steamboat and Randy Savage and Ricky Steamboat's Intercontinental Championship required viewing for anyone who wants to be in professional wrestling, who wants to be a wrestler. This match for the WWE Championship, Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels, this is a must-watch. If you could get your hands on it, if you can YouTube it, if you could find it. This is what WrestleMania is all about. These two men, they had a real hate with each other for a long time. And that real hate provided just an extraordinary classic battle. Both men pulled out everything. And the match itself told a story successfully, because I think it would be much different if within the course of that 60 minutes, if both men had scored at least one fall over each other. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels went 60 minutes. Whoever had the most falls would win the WWE Championship. Bret Hart the champion in this case. Shawn Michaels coming in, the boyhood dream that he'd been looking forward to for a long time. Both men went 60 minutes and not a single fall. You had a lot of near falls. You didn't have one that scored for either man. And if it was different than 0-0, I'm not so sure. I thought the mood would be a little bit different. The fans would really be getting into it. The fans were still into it pretty much. It was a lot of just the most noteworthy match to talk about in this WrestleMania. But it is a picture-perfect. This was a picture-perfect story of a match to tell, because there were no falls the first 60 minutes, and then they had to decide it in overtime. There must be a winner. And about 2 minutes into overtime, Shawn Michaels, 2 super kicks, Sweet Chin Music, and the boyhood dream in Anaheim, California. Shawn Michaels leading the new generation through 1996 as WWE champion. Would not be the last time that he would be WWE champion. In just the hour and the boyhood dream, just an unbelievable moment that all of you should watch if you haven't watched it yet. So that was WrestleMania 12, and tomorrow we will talk about WrestleMania 13. The new generation still going on, kind of creeping our way to the Attitude Era in WWE, and one match and one man and a double switch, making setting a stone for this Attitude Era to begin to flow. Skinner Moxley, talking to you tomorrow, as the moments that define WrestleMania all start to culminate. As you'll see in future videos, you're going to see a lot of great moments in these next several years of WWE. Skinner Moxley, so long.